the channel. This is Ashish from Byte&Brew. In today's video, we are going to understand one of the most important topics in ITILv4 Foundation, and that is the key concept of service management. So, if you are preparing for your ITILv4 exams, or if you are working in IT operations or service delivery, this video will help you understand the fundamentals in a very simple and practical way, guys. So let's start for today. First, let's understand one basic questions. What is a service? So when we talk about service, service is like, if you can go with definitions of service, so it's a means, a way of enabling value creation for customers by facilitating outcomes that customers wants to achieve without the customer having to manage service a specific cost and risk. Now, this definition is very important, but don't worry, we will understand with these things with good examples. So let's take a real industry example. Imagine a company is using Microsoft Office, Outlook, emails, Teams for chatting, for sharing their files, for sharing some mails, collaborations, etc. Now, the company's goal is not to manage email servers, storage, backups, security patches, or availability of those tools. Their goal is simply to communicate, collaborate, and work smoothly. So Microsoft provides a service that helps the customer achieve that outcome. And the customer does not need to manage all the technical complexities, costs, and risks behind it. That is the whole idea of service management. Now let's go step by step and understand the key concepts. So services is nothing but just simple, as I said, that there are users which they need to use and which they need to utilize without bothering about how the services are coming to them. Now, the next concept is value. So if you talk about value, value means the perceived benefits, usefulness, and importance of something. In simple words, if we talk about value, is what the customer feels they are getting in return. So for example, if you are running an online shopping company and the value of your website and payment system is that customer can place orders quickly, payments go through smoothly, and delivery is processed without delay. Now take the reverse of this. If the website is down, the customer gets no value, even if your IT team is working very hard in the back end, day, night. So always remember, the value is not what IT delivers. Value is what the customer experiences. Now, in today's scenario or today's world, the customer experience is the most important point of value creation or of any services whichever a service provider is providing to them. You have maybe seen of like the feedbacks, the star ratings, the cab wala is asking to you, the Swiggy wala is asking to you. So there are people who are asking you the feedbacks. If you are giving them a good feedback, they are getting some incentives. So similarly, the complete scene and the complete show is dependent on the customer, how nicely they are getting that services and they are able to use it. Now, next concept is outcome. So outcome is the result that a customer wants to achieve. It's nothing that you are delivering to them. It is something which a customer wants to achieve by utilizing your services. So outcome is not the activity, it is the final result. Try to get this, guys. So it is not an activity which you are going to perform. It is a result of that, or it's a final result of that service you are providing. Let's take an example. For a hospital uses an IT system for patient records. The hospital does not care about the databases, the technology, or the server configurations. But the outcome they want is doctors should access patients' data history quickly and accurately during the treatment. If this is not happening properly, it will create a kind of problem in that medical stream. So this is what the outcome is. Whenever a doctor is looking for your data, they are getting it properly and they are getting with the full integrity of the data that this belongs to you only. Now, output is what the service produces like a deliverable. Outputs are important, but they are not the same as outcomes. Try to understand that. So for example, in an IT service desk, you might deliver an output like password reset, or you will deliver a laptop to new users or to any of your user. But the outcome is that a user can start working again without delay. So output is delivered item and outcome is the benefit or the result of those outputs or your work, that is called as outcome. Now, we will understand the cost. So cost is, obviously people understand the amount of money spent on a service or activity or a specific resources or something like this. But when we talk about IT service management, the cost can be for both customer and service provider also. For example, take an example of industry. If a company hosts its own data center, the cost includes servers, electricity, cooling systems, licenses, maintenance cost, contracts are there, staff salaries are there, you have to pay for the rent of the place. So there are plenty of things. Now in ITIL4 so if any such kind of situations happens, so you have to spend a lot of money in hosting a data center. But suppose you are taking help from some of the service providers like AWS, Azure or GCP. So what they are doing is they are just keeping your data, they are keeping your data alive so that you can use it as whenever you want, wherever you want nicely. And then in this situation, what happens? This service provider is paying for those things, those headaches, and you are utilizing the service properly. Now in ITIL, the idea is that service helps customers reduce or avoid certain costs that they would otherwise have to manage themselves. So guys, try to understand all these examples, that it is about creating something which is helping you without facing any hassles, without facing any problems. Now, when you work in an IT company, what happens? There are plenty of risk comes in with all these services. People have heard of, you don't share your password, you don't share your data, otherwise your data is online, it could be hacked, it could be downloaded by some miscreants. So these things are happening. So these are nothing but a risk. Risk means a possible event that could cause harm or loss to your data, to your integrity, to your confidentiality, to your services, to your work. So it could be anything. Suppose, try to understand this with an example. If you are running a banking application, risk could be including downtime, it could be cyber attacks, data breaches, or transaction failures. No one is willing to lose these data, this information from their bank accounts to other person or to other location, so that it will be compromised. Now let's combine cost and risk in a very practical example. Imagine a startup wants to run an e-commerce platform. If they built everything on their own servers, they will manage costs like hardware and staff and risk like security and downtime. But if they use a managed cloud platform, the provider helps handle many of these risks and costs, so the startup can focus on growing their business. Now let's move to another very important ITIL concept, which we are going to study, utility and warranty. Guys, now try to understand these things, these terms, because these terms are very closely connected to each other. Sometimes they create confusion. So utility means what the service does. Utility is basically the functionality of the service. In simple words, utility answers the question, does the service meet the customer's needs? For example, think about an internet connection service. Utility means you can browse websites, attend meetings, send emails, and download files. If you cannot access the internet, the utility is missing. Now warranty comes in. So warranty is what? Includes availability, capacity, security, continuity, and performance. So the simplest way to remember is utility is fit for purpose and warranty is fit for use. Now let's understand this with a strong industry example. Imagine you buy a car. The car's utility is that it can take you from one place to another. But warranty is whether it starts every day, whether it is safe, whether it performs well, and whether it works reliably. Same in IT, let's take an example of an email service. Utility of email services: you can send and receive emails to your stakeholders. Warranty of email services: email should be delivered fast. The service should be available 99.9% of the times. It should be secure, and it should not lose the data which you are sending through the email to your stakeholders. So if utility is present but warranty is poor, then users will still be unhappy and they will not be able to utilize the services properly. For example, email service exists but it is slow, frequently down, or non-secure. That means utility is there but warranty is missing. No one is there to care about those applications. Now let's connect all these concepts of service management or service value as per the ITIL concept. So in ITIL4, service value is created when utility and warranty together supports the customer's outcome. So value is not just delivering something, value is creating when the customer achieves their outcome with the minimum cost and minimum risk. Now I want to give you one complete real IT operation scenario. Imagine you are managing an IT services for a manufacturing company. They have a production plant and machines are connected to the network. If the network goes down, production stops, which means business loss. Now, what is the service here? The service is network and connectivity, service for plant operations. Now, let us map the concepts. Outcome. Production should run continuously without interruptions. It will be outcome for the plant. Output, stable connectivity, monitoring alerts, incident resolutions. This is the thing which you are providing as an IT person to the plant. Utility, machines can communicate with servers, ERP works, systems are connected. Warranty, network uptime is always high. Performance is stable, security is ensured, and support is available quickly. Cost, company avoids the cost of building a large internal network team if managed by service providers well. Now risk. Downtime is reduced through redundancy, monitoring, and incident management. So if you are properly monitoring predictively and proactively, then there are chances that you will have less incidents, less problems, and the plant will run 24/7 properly. Now another example very common in corporate offices. Let's say your company provides a laptop and a VPN services to employees working from home. So nowadays working from home is a new trend. So outcome is what? Employees should work smoothly from anywhere. Output is what? That IT team has delivered laptop, configured the VPN on their laptop, and provided the access to the user. Now utility is what? Utility is user can connect to office systems and do their job smoothly. Now warranty is what? VPN should be secure, stable, and available during their working hours. Cost, user doesn't buy too expensive equipments when they are working in the office. They expect that IT will provide them all those details, all those equipments, whatever is required to work in the office. Risk, user doesn't handle the security, the risk alone, because IT manages encryptions, access controls, and monitoring. Obviously, it is a responsibility of a user to handle the security of the organization, to safeguard their equipments and everything. But IT team is efficiently managing those things on the back end also. That is service management in real life. Now, the last point I want you to remember is this. Service management is not only about IT support. Service management is a way of thinking where you focus on delivering value, enabling outcomes, and continuously improving services. So if you are preparing for ITIL4, just remember these keywords always: value, outcomes, outputs, cost, risk, utility, and warranty. And always try to connect them with real examples. That will make the concept very easy for you guys, and it will help you in the exam as well as in real job situations. So just try to understand them nicely, because these pointers are connected so well with each other. They create sometimes a kind of confusion. And these are the points which you need to understand while you are working on. So guys, that's all for today's video. If you found this useful, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, and comment ITIL if you want more videos like this. I'll be posting more ITIL4 Foundation content regularly, so stay connected. Please hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone. Please do follow.